So I have with me the Chief Business Officer of Xiaomi India, Sandeep, and the Chief Marketing Officer of Xiaomi, Anuj Sharma. And there's so much to catch up here because Sandeep, we haven't spoken much, and Anuj, since the last time I spoke with you, so much has changed here because Xiaomi was one of the key market players in India. It still is, but you're not among the top 5 smartphone companies anymore. There's been a decline in the shipments. There was a time when you were dominating the smart TV space. Now you're not the top player there as well. There have been so many leadership changes. Multiple reports have also highlighted so many issues like retailer issues, lack of investment in India. We're going to talk about all of that, but let me start with a very direct question. Would you at this point agree that 2025 has been a difficult year for Xiaomi India?
Manas, thank you for coming and speaking to us. I think 25 has been a year of progress and learning. We've strengthened our presence and play in the ecosystem. Very strong, sort of performance on television, particularly on premium QLEDs. Very strong performance on tablets. Again, premium tablets where we have Pad 7, where we gained a lot of share. A new launch of a local manufactured watch, which has seen a lot of success and traction on channels. So strengthening of our ecosystem play. Also at the same time, we have continued on our journey of becoming and starting to make sure our portfolio is becoming more premium, focus on value. And to that extent, our growth drivers, which is really strengthening our omni-channel presence and strengthening our presence across all 3 brands, which is Xiaomi, Redmi and Poco, is something that we focused on. So I think it's a year of progress, a year of learning, and something that will set us up for success as we move forward.
Okay, but I mean, it's good to have that success in a category like smartwatch or tablets, but people in India have always known Xiaomi and Redmi for their value smartphones, right? And that's where we have seen a decline in terms of shipments. So again, what do you think went wrong? Is it the forecasting, go-to-market planning, or just the demand estimation?
I think there has been a conscious shift from our side to start focusing from volume to value. A conscious shift in terms of the portfolio that we want and the transitioning of the portfolio. And also a conscious shift in terms of making sure that we have a strong omni-channel presence and we build our muscles in that channel, the mainline channel. And so this is part of that journey. Yes, we've dropped volume, as you mentioned. We are still amongst the top 4 players in the. If you look at Xiaomi, Redmi, and Poco put together.
In terms of value or shipments?
Even in terms of shipments, yeah. If you put all 3 of them together, we are amongst the top 4 players. And like I mentioned to you, Manas, we've now set up the sort of structure and the channel presence, etc., to now start to gain both on volume and particularly on value.
But from what I have read and from what I understand, and maybe you can also share some insights into this, that there's also been some problem into bringing some of the products to India. Like for example, we heard a lot about the Xiaomi 14 CV, and then it just didn't come. So what happened there?
We got the Xiaomi 14 CV last year, and I think it did as per plan. But we have to also realize that not every series has to be brought in every year, right? So some of these are strategic moves. So for example, in 2021-22. The premium segment actually started off with the T series. So we used to have a Xiaomi T series, 10T, 11T series. Then we took a break, recalibrated, learned from that and said, okay, can a premium Leica device come in at that? And that's where the Xiaomi's CV14 kind of stepped in.
Just to correct myself, I meant Xiaomi 15 CV didn't come list. Yeah.
Now, so we were looking at that and saying, can we do something else? Can we do something a little better? We didn't really bring in the entire portfolio that we have at a global level, right? So,
but there was no problem or issue in bringing it. Was a brand decision.
It was our decision. Yeah.
Okay. So, but then what I've also seen is there's been some sort of reluctance to bring a lot of ecosystem products. Earlier you would launch a lot of those, and now I don't see the same volumes. Brands is one category which I assume that people are not buying bands as much. Now they move to smartwatches, but there were a lot of AIoT devices which are not coming to India.
So we've always, we are yet to, I think, see the entire strength of the Xiaomi innovation ecosystem in India. But at some point, we'll also have to realize that this life stage that India is as a market, where some of those devices make sense and some still don't, right? Will we get there? Hopefully. As the broadband penetration is kind of going up, as people are getting a little more comfortable going beyond basic compute devices, that opportunity is there. And obviously for us, we are always evaluating, we are always recalibrating, and never say never.
But Sandeep, you mentioned about targeting the value aspect, right? And I've read in a lot of places where you've spoken also about premiumization, moving towards premiumization, right? Can you define it for me? Like, does it mean bringing up more expensive products, or is it the experience that you are targeting? How will you put it?
Premiumization is really upgrading your existing consumer base, consumers to a sort of a product which has got better features, which has got a better sort of ecosystem play around it. The journey of premiumization starts with, of course, portfolio. It starts with your presence in retail. It starts with the experience you're offering in retail, your service network, your ecosystem products, and we're sort of working on all aspects of that. Some of the portfolio play you've seen, Anuj just talked about it. There is more that you will see as time goes on, and particularly in 2026.
So when you say more, Anuj, should I assume that the Xiaomi 17 series is coming to India very soon? You have already announced it globally.
Yeah, I think. So Xiaomi 17 series is definitely coming to India. What all we see as part of it, obviously we are still evaluating.
Okay, so I mean that is the number of products. Any time, when are you aiming to launch this? Because we have traditionally seen it in the first quarter of a new year, right? So is it that what you'll be targeting?
We are testing a couple of products. When we are actually able to bring it in, largely depends on what the market conditions would be, when we'll be ready with that, and not just India actually, right? Because now these days the Xiaomi flagship series actually launches across the world. So when all the global markets have a green flag is when we can launch it. So it's a little more complicated than just for the two of us to choose saying, okay, let's launch it today.
Okay, but it is coming, it's right now we're in China, but it's coming to global markets, including India, very soon is what I'm assuming.
Yes, of course.
Right. Now at this stage, I also want to understand something from you, because for long, there has been some sort of market confusion regarding Xiaomi, Redmi, and now Poco as well, because I remember there was a time when you used to call yourselves Mi, and then you changed it to Xiaomi to avoid that confusion, but there's still, a little bit of, and now with that, lot of leadership changes within Poco as well. How do you, differentiate, and how do you position these brands separately from each other?
Again, the company has always been Xiaomi, Manas, and Xiaomi's got three brands which have distinct positions. They have distinct roles. Xiaomi sort of about innovative tech, cutting edge tech. Redmi has been about democratizing technology, about reliability, durability, accessibility for everybody. Poco has been about performance for the digitally savvy, young, sort of tech savvy user. So three distinct brands. They will still be distinct.
They will continue to
be distinct. Yeah, I'm saying they will be distinct. They will all have be part of Xiaomi India, where we have the leverage of Xiaomi India's, and Xiaomi Global sort of technology, Xiaomi India's supply chain, service network. So that is the way we were. That is the way it will exist. And like I mentioned, one of our growth drivers is, of course, our omni-channel presence. The second is going to be our innovation across all three of these brands. And to your question about, Manas, about leadership change is a constant across organizations. So leadership, for example, I joined Xiaomi 11 months back, and since then, all three businesses are reporting to me, and they continue to report on me. So again, leadership change is a constant. What is critical is the vision that Xiaomi India has, or Xiaomi Global has, Xiaomi India has, about innovation for everyone, about enriching lives, about making sure technology is democratized and is available for everyone, and the whole ecosystem play. That remains consistent, and our roles will always be about making sure we bring that alive for all our consumers.
So Anuj, what is the vision here? Like, what are the next products in line? Because I'm assuming before the Xiaomi 17 series, there will also be a Note series. What are the other categories that you'll be focusing going into the next year?
Other categories, actually, some of them are very, very exciting.
I like how you're talking about other categories
No,
first,
so-
but not the
Because
Note.
phones you're already naming, so I would not argue with that. Obviously, from a phone's perspective, what we are doing is, if you look at it, right, I think back in 22 we had this conversation saying Xiaomi's got too many phones. So we've actually used the last 2-3 years to recalibrate and says, can I put in only the things that were required, right? So the essential phones, non-overlapping series, and try and make it simpler for consumers to understand and pick us. Now that we've done this, we do see some gaps. I can't disclose what gaps we'll be kind of adding, filling in next year, but you will see a couple of very interesting phones that will come through the year that fills in those gaps that we are noticing, which I'm assuming you also noticing in the entire laddering. So we have some very exciting products coming in. So next year's portfolio will not be complicated, but just a clean laddering system where if you were missing 1 or 2 steps, we are trying to fill that in. While we're doing phones, I think one very interesting thing that I think Sandeep very quickly mentioned was TVs. Right? So what we realized this year, and I think this is a larger change that's happening in the industry, where suddenly from just pure screen sizes, picture quality has become super important. And we've seen that with the acceptance of our QLED series. Right? So last year we introduced QLED series, this year we went in a little harder, and we've seen a fairly good success. Even as we speak, every day since the Diwali sales have started, they're just flying off the shelf. Next year we will be amping up the picture quality quite a bit. So people, at least the enthusiasts, should be quite happy about what we will do next year. And then of course on the tablet side, we've seen fairly good success. It's just been 3 years. I mean, it feels like a lot longer because with the Xiaomi Pad 5, we were able to revive the Android tablet space. Pad 6 has done well. Pad 7, we brought in nano texture. Next year, we should give in a couple of more variables for the consumers to kind of really feel happy about the tablet side as well. So from phones, tablets, TVs, or basically if I can put it as compute and smart home, we will see some add-ons. May not be like a huge portfolio, but meaningful portfolio, and more focus on, I guess, the experiences that you were also.
What I would personally want to see is something in the audio space as well, because somebody at Xiaomi good 3-4 years back told me that you're yet to see our best in audio, and I'm still waiting. So let's hope that also.
Sure.
moves.
So I mean, so audio I think is a critical part of smart homes. Or actually, I would probably put it as your.
You're talking both sound bars and Bluetooth.
I don't know personal audio, but like
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think the whole home entertainment aspect of it. Yes, I mean we've not seen the entire strength of Xiaomi yet, but the acceptance in most homes right now is TV first. Then we will look at other aspects to it that we connect to the TV or something like that, right? So we are kind of first trying to fix the picture quality. Take it to the next level. I think we've made some great steps over the last 2 years. So next year you will see a huge jump in that space. And then hopefully one day we complete the entire home entertainment system.
Just to add to what I was just saying, even you mentioned saying smart TVs, no leadership. Here again, it's a conscious choice. We used to sell a lot of smart TVs at 32-inch size. And we've now seen consumers wanting larger sizes.
Yeah, larger TVs.
When you want larger sizes, you absolutely need better technology, because larger sizes otherwise will pixelate. So you QLED. And this year versus last year, maybe we've had a 5x growth on our QLEDs.
Okay.
And next year we are not only going to look at QLEDs, we are going to look at the next technology, because consumers are now wanting even bigger sizes than 55, 65. So as the sizes grow, you need better technology. So you're going to have a lot of that playing out, not just on TVs, but also on tablets similarly. So I think we want to be part of that sort of journey as consumers are looking at better experiences, better products. we want to make sure we democratize and make sure we have the right portfolio for them.
Absolutely. But like hardware is one thing, obviously there's also a software is like a very important part of any ecosystem and experience, right? You have the HyperOS on phones. What is happening on that side? Like how are you planning to refine that experience for users?
So HyperOS 3 is again, so we've been testing HyperOS 3 for the last couple of months. The whole idea is obviously a lot more stable as a system, but a lot more fluid as well. Right? And obviously it connects to everything that Xiaomi does across the brands. Right? So it's bringing the entire Xiaomi group together across, I mean, how we put it as human times car times home. We still don't have the car in India. One day.
Any plans for that?
Hopefully one day. But till then, at least the rest of the stuff connects in. And HyperOS 3, we actually, because we started off a little early, we are ready to kind of deploy. So you will start seeing HyperOS 3 deploying into the devices in the next couple of weeks itself.
Okay.
So essentially, I think it'll be a good Diwali for at least the flagship users.
So like what will the first lineups which will get this? Or
obviously, it'll be the Xiaomi 15 Ultra and the Xiaomi 15 we'll start with. In fact, the Xiaomi 15 that I'm using, we've been testing HyperOS 3. So you will see that aspect.
Now, Anuj and Sandeep, one thing which is like something that I am curious to know as a technology enthusiast is that services are also such a important part of the whole experience, right? I mean, hardware, software aside, because from where I also see it, hardware is reaching some sort of a saturation. So if to give you a like example, how Apple is now investing more into content, there's Apple Music, Apple One, all of those services, and I don't see a lot of other OEMs doing that, right? So is this something that you have considered?
I think for us, for example, along with our technology, can we look at solutions? Can we, along with our tablets, help consumers on education? Can we, along with our tablets, help, let's say, for example, on content, provide them solutions? Can we provide them access to Digit, for example? So it's about more, our focus is a lot more on solutions. As a package, it becomes a superior offering. So whether it's on the television, whether it's on the phone or the tablet, can we offer these solutions? And as Anuj said, a connected ecosystem. I think that to us is a larger play, and that is core to Xiaomi's philosophy. I'm saying to have that ecosystem play, to have greater depth of users. In China, there are about close to 20 million consumers who have up to 5 Xiaomi devices.
But why do you think it's difficult to replicate that?
And that is what that is core to our whole play. Starting with HyperOS, which is starting to roll out. How do we start? We've got to work towards making sure we have greater depth of products across not just phones, but phones into TVs, into tablets, adjacent categories. And then at one stage looking at categories beyond.
Okay. One last thing, because there were also a lot of reports suggesting that Xiaomi Global is not looking at India at the same lens anymore, or the investments are not the same. Do you want to clarify something on that?
I think Xiaomi India remains absolutely a focus, sort of region for Xiaomi Global. It's one of the critical regions. Our focus is absolutely to try and make sure that we set up all the sort of growth, let's say pillars which are in place, continue to build our ecosystem play. And when the time is right, when we believe that we've got the ability to move, or the business case to move to new categories and to invest and go to new categories, we'll absolutely to do that. But a lot of investment today is happening in our service networks. We've just launched 10 premium service. We'll take it to 100 premium. A lot of investment is now happening in our omni-channel presence, across, whether it is in general trade and organized trade. A lot of investment is happening in the capability to sort of bring our products to this thing. Close to about 95% of our smartphones are being manufactured here. Our tablets are now being manufactured here. Our televisions are being premium QLED televisions are being manufactured here. The watch move is being. So all of these are investments and sort of signs of our commitment to the Indian market, to the Indian consumer, and to the Indian growth story, Manas.
Anuj, 3 focus areas going into 2026 for Xiaomi.
Connected ecosystem coming in through the software. So I think we will focus a lot more on HyperOS 3 and the success for that. A little more complete portfolio next year. So with that, we have a little more coverage, and the biggest focus for us will actually be once people have bought the device, right? Are we taking care of them? So are we getting the updates right? And are we, in case there is a problem,
After
how do we
sales
solve
service.
it really quickly?
All right. I hope that Xiaomi India is able to make the kind of inroads that you guys want to, and you're able to bounce back in certain categories also, because it's always been such an important brand for India. This is probably the brand that taught people how to use a smartphone, how to use a smart TV, and it's always set a trend, right? So I hope that that competition, that excitement is back, and all the best for all your plans. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much, man.